Okay. Hey everyone, it's Khadija. How are you all doing? Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to make this video in spirit of the new year that's coming up and 2026, and I was trying to lock in ahead of time and get my routines and systems going and do all the goal setting stuff. And I wanted to share what I've been up to and how I'm planning my next year and all my habits and systems around it, and hopefully it is helpful for some of you. So I've watched like so many people's like steal my morning routine, or like this is how my day goes, or like something about like their systems and like bullet journaling and like blocking their calendar and things like that. And yes, those things probably work for them, but what I have learned from my experience is like you have to really try the things yourself to see what works. It really is like throwing spaghetti on the wall, and you're like, you might be wondering like, well, Khadija, why are you making this video now? Like, because it's still helpful. Like, I guess like the research and watching other people's videos and learning from them, it kind of like speeds up the process of spaghetti throwing, if you will, but you're still throwing spaghetti yourself. You're not going to get somebody else to do it. Maybe you'll just do it with different techniques or at a faster speed rather than having to think about, oh, I just can't really get it right, because you're throwing spaghetti the same way. It's not working. Okay, enough of the spaghetti. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy for me. I'm a full-time working mom and an MBA student who is trying to start a business, which is really cool. And it's also a lot of work. It is as crazy as it sounds. So what I do is I will schedule, I've noticed I do like blocking of my calendar. So I have blocked my calendar out into 3 main blocks. So my first one is like my morning block, which is like 6 to 7 a.m. depending on when I wake up to like 9:30. It's a shorter block, but it is a little bit of chaos in my life because that's when everyone's waking up, getting ready, everything's on fire, the lunches need to be packed, the food needs to get done, the house needs to be cleaned. My second block is from when I'm doing my full-time job, and then my third one is my evening block. So that one is where we're kind of coming home, everyone's unwinding, relaxing a little bit, and then we're getting ready for dinner. That one's also chaos. Each block kind of has its own flow, and I'm really trying to like make it so one thing flows to the next. And I take the time on the weekend to reflect as to like what made sense, what didn't, and plan out my next week and make sure like all of the tasks or that didn't get completed get transferred onto the next week. I do use a physical journal, but I noticed that the way stuff sticks to my brain when I handwrite it down, I think it's like some neurospicy stuff going on in my head. It doesn't stick the same way if I am using a digital planner. So in a perfect world, I would wake up at 5 a.m. peacefully, quietly, when everybody is still asleep. And I would come down slowly and turn on the kettle for my tea and take my hot cup of tea to sit on the sofa as the sun rises and journal peacefully and plan my day out, and then go pray Fajr, maybe even pray Tahajjud, and then read a page of the Quran. And then I would slowly and gently and lovingly go up and wake up my children, who would wake up with smiles and ready for their amazing day. That's not how it goes. I usually get woken up at like 6:30 by my son, who is very hungry. And then I rush to pray because it is almost sunrise time. And after that, I will help the kids get ready. I will pack my own stuff for the day. If I'm going into the office that day, that would mean like me packing my clothes for the gym and then heading out, and then heading downstairs and getting the food ready. The kids are already at the table, and again, back to my ideal morning. We would all sit down together and we would have a family breakfast, and it would be so amazing. And we would talk about how the wonderful things we dreamt about last night, or like, I don't know, some very happy conversation, and nobody would be fighting. And I think like by the time I get downstairs, one of my kids has already completed breakfast. My son has already finished his breakfast, and my daughter is still running around playing with her blocks and not sitting down to eat, and she really needs to eat because she's getting very late for school. And we're just chasing her down, trying to get her to sit down and eat. And then my husband rushes out the door with the kids. I will head out soon after them with my breakfast half eaten, half still in my hands. And that is kind of like my transition period from like the first block. One of the tips I have found to be very helpful for me, because I do a lot of like, one of the best tips I got for keeping consistent was like, okay, it's helpful to have like 3 different versions of your routine. So it's like when you are on your freaking time of the month, you're gonna be tired, lazy, maybe you're sick, maybe your kids are sick, it's a snow day, and what is the bare minimum you have to get done, you know, in your morning routine? Like you can't have, so you gotta have like your 7-step skincare morning makeup routine, and then you gotta have like your 2-step one. So it's like, okay, just like lotion and sunscreen, or like, okay, I just need to brush my teeth today and just put on some clean clothes, or you know, versus like, okay, I am gonna go do all of the things today. And that's been something that's very helpful. If I'm going into the office, and now I'm starting to do this when I'm working from home too, is I will take 15 minutes in the morning to figure out, okay, these are my 3 priorities for today that I need to get done. Then I'll just jump in and do that. And that way I feel a lot more productive, and when I feel productive, I feel happy. Then in my evenings, to like crash and burn. And that's where I need the most work, because after the entire day, the morning chaos and then the work day, I'll usually come home pretty tired. The kids are coming home tired. So I'll take a breather. I'll go like lay down on the sofa or in my bed for like 10-15 minutes, and then we, meaning me and my husband, and sometimes my kids help with their hands, sometimes they help in spirit. I felt like that was a bad joke. Focus. Okay, what was I gonna say? Yes, so sometimes they help in spirit, which is okay, because it's like, okay, well, they have a mom right now and their kids right now, and part of the blessings of having a mom is you can rest and you can be nurtured and loved, and I want to do that for them. So yes. Anyway, we have dinner, and then they do their homework. Again, this is my ideal routine, and one of the parents is cleaning and one of them is helping with homework. And then we have a little bit of time between completing homework and my son's Quran class, where we kind of just like either just watch TV together, or the kids will play and I will draw for my business. Right now we're watching Jama Taksim, which my son really enjoys, and I think it's just a good excuse for me to watch a Pakistani drama with my family, and it's kind of fun because my son gets really involved in those, and it's a good way for him to get exposed to the culture and learn the language, hopefully. And he does genuinely enjoy it, and I love watching him enjoy the Pakistani drama. Once a week we have like a cohort meeting at nighttime, so I will go down for that, and that's when my husband kind of just takes care of everything, which I'm very blessed for. So yeah, and then around 8 the kids will go up, do their nighttime hygiene things like showering and brushing their teeth, and then they will have some time until 8:30. Either they can read, draw, play with their toys quietly, and sometimes we'll talk about things, and they'll come hang out with me and we'll talk. Sometimes they don't want to talk, so we won't. And then that's when it's lights out, and then I can finally go crash in my bed. And that's when it's the hardest, because it's like, okay, that's time for me to just doom scroll. That's my doom scrolling time right now, and it is what it is. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm tired. That is like, you know, it's a guilty pleasure. I try not to be hard on myself for that and just be kinder to myself. Anyway, so when I am done doom scrolling and I am about to fall asleep, that's when I will put the phone away, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my face is not washed. I have not prayed Isha. I have not brushed my teeth, and I will go do all of those things. And I will journal a page before bed. And that is something I am very committed to doing this year, because I do it on and off, but I have noticed it really helps me just be more grateful for my day, I would say, and just pay more attention to the good things in life, because there are so many. And it's just a good way for me to turn my brain off. So I will dump any thoughts that I have like a journal that I really enjoy using, and I can drop that in like the description or something. But no, it has really good prompts for morning and evening time for like resetting your thought pattern. So it's like what in the morning, it's like, what are you happy about? What are you proud of yourself for? What are you committed to? What are your goals? What are you going to do to achieve them today? And then at nighttime, it has like, what did you learn today? What did you give today? How did you follow your passion and your intuition today? What guidance can you ask for? Or like, what else? There's like 10 questions. And it's really useful. And then I'll dump any of the, you know how you have those tasks that are at the top of your mind, they're ideas that you've been like clinging to for life. So I will write those down and then transfer them over to my to-do list for the next day when I journal in the morning. And it just clears up my mind a lot, and it helps with like brain fog, which if you're a mom, you know, or if you have like, if you're spicy, you know. I will have some days that are really heavy for me working on my business and my MBA program as part of the one-day program, and I have some days which are much lighter on the MBA side of things and much heavier on work as part of my job. And I think I heard someone say that work-life balance isn't you balancing out your entire day, and I've shifted my perspective on that a lot, and it just makes it a lot less overwhelming. So when you're thinking of work-life balance, and like some people had the audacity to tell me that like, oh, work-life balance is not something for you to worry about so early in your career. It's like, yeah, but I'm a mom. Yeah, I have a life and I do care about it. Anyway, off topic. But it's not so much about, think about it and in a like a longer span of things. So if you try to balance out every single day, you're gonna be fried. It's gonna be really hard and overwhelming. So you're not gonna get a good amount of family time, a good amount of time to work on your job or your business or your education, a good amount of time to spend taking care of your hobbies, taking care of your house, taking care of your health. But if you spread it out over the course of like a week or a month or even year, but that I disagree with, but like your month is fine or your week is fine. And just try to balance it out like that. It works a lot better. So like maybe you have like, or it works a lot better for me because I tend to hyper focus on things. So I will do a couple days where I will work like extra hours on my job, and then on the weekend or like a couple days I will work extra hours, much more than recommended by my MBA program, on my business, and get really ahead. And I'm like, okay, I've done the week's work, and then I will have an entire day where I'm just like hanging out with my kids, or I will spend like an entire weekend with my husband once a month or something like that. I don't do that, but that is, again, that's the ideal. That is ideal. That is not what I'm doing right now. I'm really excited for the new year because I think I'm just climbing out of a rut that I was stuck in for the last few months, because I was so overwhelmed with just like everything on my plate, and then me signing up for this new MBA program. I'm really proud of myself for like seeing that I was burnt out so early, and seeing, oh my gosh, this train is gonna crash and burn if I don't take care of it right now. And resting and resetting and changing those habit patterns and resetting my expectations of myself, instead of forcing my body to keep going and pushing through the pain. So instead of like overhauling everything, which was part of the things I was wanting to do when I was stuck in that rut of overwhelmed, I decided, let me just try to romanticize my life a little bit, which is what I'm doing here, and just slow down, notice, be present, use my senses, enjoy where I am in life, enjoy the process. And I think that's one of the things I really appreciate about the one-day MBA program that I'm doing is like it is so flexible with my life. I just have like, and it gives me that support that I need through like a mentor and through the cohort that I get to meet once a week. It gives you that support. It's like, okay, I can keep going, because without the program, I don't think I would have continued this far in my business. I think I would have quit and started something else or quit altogether. I'm like dead serious. I'm not even joking. But because I had somebody holding my hand, I'm getting emotional. Thank you. If my mentor ever sees this, he knows who he is. Thank you. Because I honestly feel like I would have quit by now if he wasn't there, like supporting me and encouraging me and rooting for me. So yeah, my days are not perfect. Nor are my weeks or my months, but it is all a work in progress, and I am really enjoying the process, and I am proud of where I'm headed and who I'm becoming and who I am right now. And I'm very grateful for myself, and I'm sure I will be grateful for all of these things down the road. So yes, all right, assalamu alaikum.